us today, Live Music Nation Podcast, Festival Edition. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're with Ken and Cameron. They're from the Great Plains Game Festival. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, let's start with you. Give us a little background. Where'd you grow up?
I was actually born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I still live here. So haven't got out yet, but I love it here. So it's great.
No need to go anywhere else. Cameron, where are you from?
Columbus, Nebraska, but same thing. I've traveled around, but I'm back here in Lincoln. So yeah.
Guys excited for the new football coach?
I definitely am. Cameron's not really a football guy, but yeah, I'm very excited. I think we got some good years coming.
All I keep seeing on TikTok is all these running plays that this new coach has devised and how he loves the fullback system. So I get it. I'm glad you guys are excited again. It's been a rough couple of years up there. Yeah. Well, I'm being generous. I'm being nice. I'm a Jayhawk fan, so football is really rare for us. So it's been like 90 since we've been to a major bowl game. Okay, guys, let's jump in here real quick. Tell us about the Great Plains Game Festival. What is the background behind it? What is the goal of it?
Sure. No, go ahead, Cameron.
It is for getting board games, tabletop games, role-playing games out into people's minds. We're actually a 501c3 nonprofit that was founded about 10 years ago. And there's kind of been a resurgence of games beyond Monopoly and Sorry and Candyland and all the games that people are familiar with. So just like movies, just like TV shows, there's new stuff that comes out, and we want to get it into people's hands and make them aware. And then also, of course, the educational aspects of it and the things that we can do with social as part of this group. So yeah, that's what we are here for.
Okay, perfect. Ken, what do you think was the reason for the resurgence of board games? I mean, I think we can see it. Like we're seeing online chess took off during COVID, and then when people could get back together, chess tournaments are just like skyrocketing across the U.S. and the world. But what do you think that resurgence is about?
There's a lot of theories about it, obviously, but I think it has a lot to do, honestly, with our digital world, which might seem a little counterintuitive, but like everything's digital these days. We're playing video games, and I think that people kind of have a yearning to do things in person, to kind of meet with somebody across the table, to have a tactile sense of a game that they're playing. That used to be all we had, and so I think that it wasn't that big of a deal. But now that we have all these other options, people have a yearning as social creatures to have those experiences, and I think that's really what's driving the comeback of this hobby.
No, that makes sense. Okay, so the Great Plains Game Festival, I usually ask these 4 questions. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? And what does it feel like? And smell usually resolves around food, but if there's other things going on, that's cool too. But so yeah, give the listener an idea. If they had planned to attend the game festival, what are they going to see? What are they going to smell? What are they going to hear? What are they going to feel?
Go ahead, Ken. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to walk in, pick up your badge, and you're going to see just a gigantic room filled with tables and filled with people sitting across from each other, laughing, talking, carrying on, playing these games. There's going to be cheering as cool moves are made, things like that. In the back of the room, we have a board game library with over 2,000 games that you're just free to check out. You're going to see balloons on tables, and you're going to be like, what are those balloons about? Well, those balloons are for people that are looking for people to come join a game with them, right? So if you're walking around and maybe you don't know anybody, hey, there's somebody looking to play a game. Sit down, learn a new game with them. So it's going to be kind of loud with a lot of chatter and people talking and like I said, people just having a great time. That's what you're going to hear and see.
That's fantastic. I love the balloon idea. Nothing more inviting than a balloon, unless you turn around and there's a clown at the table. And
no clowns.
Guys, how long has this been going on?
This is our 10th anniversary. So this is our 10th year. We found it as the nonprofit,
Uh-huh.
and we have grown every year. I think our first year we maybe had 100 people, 120. This year we're hoping to get 1,000. Last year we had just under 800. So even kind of coming out of COVID, people are ready to get that face-to-face, non-digital time again.
Yeah.
So
Is this the brainchild of both you and Ken?
yes. Yep.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
there's two others that there are four of us that founded. We got some funding from a local game store and that Hobbytown, and then it's just kind of grown and blown up from then.
Is this idea, this concept going on anywhere else in the US?
But yeah, there are definitely other game conventions. I think what sets us apart really from a lot of them is that the size of our convention for the size of our city is incredible. So like Omaha has a couple game conventions, Kansas City has a couple, but they're not as big as ours. If you want to get as big as us, you have to go all the way to St. Louis, and then you're going to see a convention that's actually that's bigger. But like just the size of our event compared to the size of the community is really large. We get a lot of support from obviously from our town, from our city, and from the area.
Yeah.
That's very
I was gonna say, while still keeping it like feeling local. It's not so big. There's some board game conventions that get 30-40,000 people attending.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're not looking at that kind of stuff.
Right.
We want to keep it local, regional, but but still go big.
Yeah, and basically you just want to keep growing so that everyone feels invited, the environment's still warm, and kind of eliminate that commercialized feel as it goes through there. That's full. You guys offer food and beverages. What kind of products are available?
Yeah, so we have vendors. Usually we've got about a dozen, maybe 20 vendors that sell board games or board game geek stuff, things for your dice and different things like that. Food wise, we always have concessions. We used to run it ourselves, and then as we've grown, just got too big, and the venues that we go to want to do it themselves. So typical, festival foods and stuff like that, walking tacos, things like that, and drinks. We've got a lot of merchandise that we put out there and cool things like that. And then we'll always have events going on. So sometimes it's board game events. There's podcasts and other media people that come and run a show. There's big party games that take 20-30 people out, out and about. And so this year we're going to have oversized board games. So giant sized versions of games that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Last year we had stand-up comedian come out, and we have stand-up comedy. We'll have special guests. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, that's spectacular. So give us a demographic of the people that attend, because it's like, so let me give you an example. We play the bike rally, and bikers have this persona, and this, you think, what is a standard demographic? Men age 35 to 65, rough and tumble, criminal history kind of deal. But we were pleasantly surprised to find 50% had professional careers that were making over six figures a year, and it was surprising to see and to hear that. As you know, that what is a typical demographic for someone that comes to the Game Fest?
I mean, it's hard. Like, it's hard to have any. We've never done like an official like survey or anything, so I can't sit here and say, oh, this. But we're very focused on having a family friendly event. So we do see a lot of families, a lot of children with their parents, and I think board games tend to tend to attract. I think all sorts of people. So I mean, it's tough to say exactly what our demographic is. Like I said, it tends to be families and
kids at heart, for sure. It doesn't matter whether you're 80 years old or 22. We're pretty inclusive. Kind of like you'd think it's going to be the nerdy whatever, but it's everybody comes out, and it's usually 50-50 on gender and families and the kids, like you say, and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome that
Yeah,
that everyone is included. That's pretty cool. Is there strategy to Candyland? Can I ask that question?
No, sir.
There's no strategy to Candyland.
It's a solved game.
That's
I was just
literally
thinking
once-
here. I was like, all right, if I could jump on some tables, I don't know anything about chess, but I could play checkers. I could do good with checkers. There's some games, but like my kids would want to play Candyland, and I'm like, I get bored because there's no strategy.
There's no strategy. No.
Okay,
that's
no
right.
strategy. All right, very good.
That's exactly it, dude. A lot of the games, if you think of Monopoly, Sorry, and Candyland and Life, you flip over the card, you do what it says, you roll the dice, you do what they say. A lot of the old games, there's a lot. It's just luck. You don't have any control. So most of the games of the day, they do actually have some strategy where you get some decision points. You get to actually do what you want to do. You want to go this route or that route. There's usually multiple ways to win. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. A couple fun questions, guys, because I am in live entertainment and live music. I always ask these two questions. So first question I'll ask to you, Ken, what is the best concert you've ever seen in your entire life?
Oh man. So I guess the best concert I've ever seen in my entire life would probably be the Indigo Girls. They came to Lincoln one year. I absolutely love their style. I love their new music and the way they played, and that's probably my favorite concert that I've actually been to.
Okay, cool. Cameron, what's your best concert you've seen in your entire life?
I'm gonna go a little bit left here of a little bit weird. Literally, because honestly, I think my favorite concert I've ever been to was Weird Al.
Wow, yeah, for sure. Those are two exact answers that I would expect from the Great Plains Game Festival.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this: if your goal was to get as many people as you could to the Great Plains Game Festival, and someone offered you any musical act in the world, dead or alive, money's not an issue, and you could bring one act to the Great Plains Game Festival, who would you bring?
I mean, it'd have to be like the Beatles, right? That's like
That's your
they're
goal.
the biggest. You'd have a lot of people. Wouldn't you have a lot of people going like, "Wait, we can see the Beatles"? I don't care about the board games. That's probably not a very fair answer. But
you think about that, and the Beatles are probably the kind of group that they're not going to stay in the hotel or the bus during the game festival. They're probably going to get out and play some games. Like, that's what I'm thinking. So sometimes we'll go out at a concert, or at a festival, we'll go sample the food or walk around the fair or something like that. But there's a game festival going on. I've got a drummer, and I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be able to get him to come back to stage. He would just it would be pulling teeth getting him back. Okay, Cameron,
come play some games.
Cameron, who would you pick?
Oh man, I'd go something like that. I'd say honestly to pull in more people, and not to go country or anything, but Garth sure pulls in a lot of numbers. And he's been to Lincoln a couple times, and that would be a show. I don't know, you'd get the same thing that you would, them coming to play games and stuff like that, but that would get some numbers.
No, that's for sure. Very sure. All right, guys, how do people find out more about the Great Plains Game Festival?
Yeah, you can. We have a website. That's probably the easiest way. It's just greatplainsgamefestival.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, all the socials. Okay.
And you guys have applications for vendors, or how does that work?
Yeah, vendors can come in. Like I said, usually it's more board game adjacent stuff. But we don't do food vendors because the venue usually wants to do that. But yeah, there's applications for vendors on there. You get a full weekend badge. Everybody who gets a full weekend badge gets a free game. So you're already walking away with one free game, like a modern good game. We've got play to wins where they can win a lot more. So just Google Great Plains Game Fest, or our gaming project is the nonprofit that we run, and because we do other things throughout the year, and that's the easiest way. Absolutely.
Perfect. That's awesome. Ken, Cameron, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle